Hey everybody, what's going on? We've got a little bit of a late start today. Just getting ready for lunch, having a little bit of apple, ginger, beets, something else juice that came from the bagel store this morning. So just some juice, but getting ready for lunch. But I told you yesterday, I've got some news coming up today. I think it's pretty obvious at this point what the news is, but I'm going to talk about what 3 marathons now we've got potentially scheduled for the fall of 2022. So yesterday, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware of, the Berlin Marathon lottery results were announced. And I got an email in the morning. I got accepted into the Berlin Marathon. It's going to be on September 25th in the fall of this year. And I already have Chicago and New York on the calendar, so it's going to be the 3rd marathon that I would have scheduled within about 6 weeks total in the fall of 2022. I would love to run Berlin. I really do. If I want to get my 6-star finisher medal from, World Marathon Majors, I don't have this one yet. It's going to come down to a decision probably pretty close to the last minute, just trying to figure out, how difficult is it going to be to get back home? Is there any risk that, I get delayed or can't get home, flights get canceled? We'll see how it goes, but nonetheless, I am accepted, and I'll just talk a little bit about maybe what the plan will be if I am to run all 3 in the fall. So Berlin is the first of the series. It's a very notoriously flat and fast course. It's where the current world record for the marathon was set. So it's certainly an opportunity to run fast and an opportunity that I probably won't pass up. So this is the schedule for the marathons. I don't know how easy it is to see, but basically it's Berlin, then 2 weeks, then Chicago, then 4 weeks, then New York City. Now, if I want to run Berlin as fast as I can, obviously that's not so hard. The training block will be focused on hitting the first race, and I think honestly that's the only thing I can do, because frankly, if you run a marathon in Berlin 2 weeks later, I'm not going to be able to hit my peak time in Chicago. There is a better break between Chicago and New York with a whole 4 weeks this year. But again, chances are there's going to be some fatigue that set in because I've already run 2 marathons before. So what the plan would be, obviously, is to run Berlin all out, to do my best, to focus my training block on peaking right at the beginning of, the Berlin Marathon. Chicago would be kind of a fun race. I would just do it nice and easy, slow as I possibly can do it without driving myself crazy, trying to let the legs recover while still running a long distance. And then if you think about it, hopefully the legs are kind of coming around and recovering from the hard marathon effort. Hopefully I can treat it kind of like a long run in Chicago that's still 4 weeks out from New York City. And then after all that work and 2, marathons that are already run, I'd probably do a pretty hard taper and just make sure that I bring the mileage down for New York City. And maybe I get a decent run out of my New York City marathon attempt. So that would be the plan. That's really the best that I can think of at this point. I'll probably work with my, running club coach and everything again this season to get ready. And, obviously this is stuff we'll talk about and see what he says, but it's just not territory that anybody goes into running 3 marathons in a row, hoping to hit PRs in all of them, hoping to run fast in all of them. There's just a lot of fatigue that sets in unless, you're like, a world-class ultra runner, and 3 marathons may not be as much of a deal, but that's not me right now. And, it's just a lot of running, but I'm still excited to do it. And I plan on doing it all again world permitting and situations, you know, what may or may kind of not come up. But, you know, I'm hopeful and I'm excited, and yeah, I'm hoping for Berlin to work out, and I'm hoping to see maybe some of you there. So let me know if you made it in as well. I will say this for anybody else who's in a similar situation and thinking about running multiple marathons in the fall: plan one peak race. I did this same thing in 2019. I ran Chicago, had a 3-week break, and ran New York City. And, you know, I was in probably my best shape I ever was as a runner at that particular time. I ran 3:37 in Chicago, you know, at 235 pounds. That was pretty good for me. I was in good shape. I was running fast. I thought, you know, hey, I could take a break, take 2 weeks, taper again into New York City, use the Chicago as a long run. It'll be great for my fitness. And by mile 10 in New York City, my legs were shot. They felt really fatigued. I lost like 20 minutes just to fatigue in my legs. So it's definitely a factor. You know, try and make the first marathon you have of the series the fast one you want to run, because the mileage just adds up and it's going to take a toll on your second or third marathons of the series if you're going to run it and you're hoping to run faster in those marathons. So with all of that said, we still need to go for a 3-mile run today. It's going to be a very easy effort, but let's go get that done. It still matters. It's still mileage. So we're going to go do that today, and we'll check back in once we're done. Well, so it got dark out, so we weren't able to really run outside. It's just completely, you know, unsafe really at this point. I don't have too many sidewalks. I would have to drive somewhere a little bit closer where I would be at risk of getting hit by a car or anything. So we went for the treadmill. I absolutely hate the treadmill. We ended up doing 3 miles. I set the treadmill to 10 minutes per mile, ended up recording it on my watch as well for Strava. So it's on Strava pretty accurately, or at least close to what the treadmill was saying. So yeah, so nonetheless, it was a perfectly fine run. It's just, I don't like it. I don't like running indoors. I like running outside without music, just taking in the sights and everything. So not the end of the world, something I will do fewer times rather than just being outside. So with that, we're all done for today. I hope you enjoyed. Again, let me know if you're running Berlin or you got into Berlin, or what your thoughts are. If you have tips on where to stay in Berlin. Berlin is going to be new to me, so definitely consider subscribing if you want to follow along for all the training that'll come in those marathon training blocks. Leave a like on the video if you made it this far. That'd be awesome, and I hope to see you in the next video.